There are many Walking Dead theories that come out after every episode that try to predict what's going to happen by the end of the season, but looking forward and guessing based on the characters around them and the situation they're in isn't always the best way to predict what's to come. Sometimes the best way to predict the future is actually to look into the past. And for those of you who didn't realise, The Walking Dead has always seemed to follow a pattern, a set of things that always seem to happen over and over again. So here are 10 Walking Dead patterns that predict what's to come. Spoilers ahead. 1. Trusting the wrong people. Whenever they arrive at a new settlement or encounter random people on the road, they always seem to be very bad judges of character, placing their trust in people they've only just met, psychopathic governors, mistrusting members of their own group, and then when they finally do come across someone they can trust, they punch them in the face. 2. Somebody hates the group. When the group's introduced to new people, there always seems to be one person who doesn't like Rick or his group. This usually ends in either the person coming to respect Rick and his group, or the person dying. 3. Minority characters always get replaced. Be that their race or sexual orientation, the minority characters always end up getting a pretty raw deal and not much screen time. For example, when T-Bone sacrifices his life to save Carol, Michonne shows up shortly after. Tyrese appears, and shortly after the African-American Oscar dies. This can be seen in LGBT characters also, as Tara's girlfriends always seem to keep dropping dead. 4. The new guy will die. Just like a red shirt character in Star Trek, newly developed characters always seem to get killed off. Basic rule of thumb is if a newly developed character starts aspiring to be something, then their days are numbered. Also, if a background character who spent episodes without speaking finally gets a line, you can be pretty sure he's about to croak. 5. Clumsiness. The surviving veterans seem to be good at protecting themselves from the walkers, but not very good at protecting themselves from their own stupidity, as they'll often do silly things that gets themselves or other people in trouble. And if it's a lead character who makes a clumsy mistake, then usually it's a less important character who has to suffer the consequences. 6. Good morals get you killed. Due to the brutal reality of the Walking Dead world, if soft, good moral characters end up holding onto their morals and staying soft, then they don't last very long. And equally, if hardened characters end up developing good morals and becoming a bit soft, then you can be pretty sure that their end is near. 7. No strong relationships allowed. As soon as a couple makes their relationship official, then you can be pretty sure that their fate is sealed, unless they break up or something. A few examples of this can be Shane and Laurie, Shane dies, Laurie and Rick, Laurie dies, Karen and Tyrese, Karen dies, Rick and Jesse, Jesse dies, Abraham and Sasha, Abraham dies, Glenn and Maggie. You get the idea. 8. Something will save the day. Usually when the lead characters are completely surrounded by walkers, or when they're in a tricky situation and it looks like there's no way out and they're just about to die, something will happen to save them all. Usually it's one of the lead characters that manages to save the situation, but other times it can be something like a well-placed dumpster or a tiger. Yeah, so don't assume anyone's gonna die until they're finally dead. 9. Their settlement will get destroyed. This usually happens in every season of The Walking Dead. They settle into a new place, then stuff happens, usually there's an explosion or something, followed by a fire, then thousands of walkers flood the place, forcing them all to leave. 10. The group splits up. Usually following the destruction of their recent settlement, the group ends up becoming separated. It can also happen because of some plan or something going wrong, but the point is that at some point or another it's going to happen, because it always does. You'd think that by now Rick would have come up with a rendezvous point for them all to go if things go wrong. Well, those are 10 repeating patterns that we found in The Walking Dead. Please let us know in the comments below if you found any more.
For your daily celeb fix, subscribe.